What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So for this horror news update, we covered this originally back on, I want to say it's February 4th or February 5th. It's in our playlist of, for horror news updates where you'll find this video. But we had reported on the fact that the mall that was used in the original Dawn of the Dead film had been sold, and there was a possibility that the mall could be shut down, could be demolished, and the property used for something, I guess, more modern. As we all know, I mean, at least in my city, malls are becoming, and I think vast majority of large cities, malls are becoming a kind of a dying breed. And I live where another famous mall, movie mall from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, was recently had closed last year and had recently started the demolition of tearing down the entire shopping mall earlier this year. I don't think it's been fully demolished as of yet, but I would say more than 3/4 of it's gone. And that mall had been there for as long as I can remember, and it was definitely sad to see it go, along with a few other major malls in the area have gone as well. But that was one of those ones, again, that if you had ever seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and you knew of that mall, there were still a lot of aspects still at the mall. You can kind of do filming spots, so to speak. But here we are. We're talking about the mall again from Dawn of the Dead. Horror icon Ken Foree shares plea to preserve Dawn of the Dead mall. Now, I will say, and I've said this before, overall for horror, the original Dawn of the Dead, while I did like the remake, and again, you guys know my feelings when it comes to remakes and reboots. I'm not gonna stand on that soapbox in this video, but I will say it was enjoyable. But the original Dawn of the Dead is one of my all-time, probably top 20 favorite horror films. And one of the reasons why is because of that shopping mall, of how the shopping mall looks in the film. Because I remember shopping malls looking just like that. And obviously it's you don't see malls like that anymore. I mean, especially I think one of the iconic scenes where they have this massive gun store in the shopping mall. That would never happen nowadays, even if shopping malls were still around. But just like they also have like a full functioning bank, these full functioning massive restaurants. I mean, you don't see that. I mean, yeah, you have food courts and things like that, but it's more like fast food, really. It's not sit down restaurant type scenarios like that was shown there. Malls like that just aren't around like that anymore. So again, we touched on this, that the mall was sold in early February. Now we're going to see what this article tells us, where we're currently at all these months later, to see if they've decided what they're going to do with the mall. But obviously the way this headline reads, it doesn't sound too good. So let's jump into these article details here. The Monroeville Mall, where George A. Romero's famously filmed Dawn of the Dead, was recently sold to Walmart, of course, of all companies. Not saying I'm not going to get down that path, but I mean, of course, if it's sold to Walmart, odds are more than likely it's going to get torn down, turned into a super Walmart, a Walmart shopping center type situation. So I wouldn't be surprised. Although the retail giant has yet to disclose its plans for the property, horror fans are concerned about losing the iconic location, as they should be, because I think, again, it's just going to be one of those situations where Walmart will eventually decide just to close it and tear it down. The mall is currently home to a bronze bust of Romero, commemorating its cinematic legacy, as well as the Living Dead Museum. It also has hosted zombie walks, tours, and conventions, in addition to becoming a tourist spot for horror fans. And that was the same thing for the mall was Metro Center. That was used in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They had something very similar to that and early on, but I mean, eventually they stopped doing those types of things, and it was just a matter of, if you had known that that's where the film was shot at, then you can kind of do those kind of comparisons of movie scenes to where it was at in the mall. So again, but as far as like tours and things like that, that stopped long ago. Ken Foree, who starred as Peter Washington in Dawn of the Dead, shared his impassioned thoughts about the future of Monroeville Mall on social media. Quote, "This place means a great deal to millions. It is now going to be replaced by a major retailer. The question is, does the Monroeville Mall have the necessary requirements to become a historical landmark? Historical landmarks are places where people visit because it has a significant place in their life. It is a building or place that has achieved fame and notoriety because of the significant contribution to our history. The Monroeville Mall may not qualify, but let's look at let's look at its history. The Washington or Lincoln monuments, it's not, and of course not Mount Rushmore. But I would dare to say that it's visited and celebrated by more vacationers, sightseers, and fans than a lot of historical landmarks in America." Goes on, the mall was built in 1969 as a hub of consumerism. In 1970, George Romero, the innovative archer who changed the face of the horror genre, directed, and Richard Rubenstein produced a film titled Dawn of the Dead, most of which was filmed in the Monroeville Mall. It became a blockbuster hit, seen worldwide. Dawn of the Dead was seen by horror fans and non-horror fans. It was unique because no one had ever seen anything like it before. Of course, Night of the Living Dead had attracted a lot of attention, but nothing like Dawn of the Dead. Richard and Dario Argento distributed it to every major movie theater, drive-in, art house, and especially those with midnight screenings. I don't know the exact screen count, but I know it was vast. I personally could view it at 3 different locations in Manhattan, New York City. It was shown in every community here and abroad. Each major national television reviewer included his phenomenal film in their broadcast and recommended it with a thumbs up. So I mean, this quote goes on, and I'm not going to continue reading this quote because but I think we get the gist, right? And I'll put the link for this article in the description of the video. So if you want to continue reading the article, you can do so. Ultimately, he's saying, I think, what a lot of fans like myself would be saying: let's preserve the mall. Let's not get rid of it. However, like I mentioned before, shopping malls just aren't what they used to be. And the pandemic of 2020 did not help matters whatsoever. But I think shopping malls were kind of a dying breed well before the pandemic. A lot of stores in shopping malls and shopping malls in general never adapted to the online environment. And we have seen several iconic large retailers fall victim to that. And I know, I mean, one of them happening to be, if you remember, a electronics store called Circuit City. They did. Best Buy has been feeling that pain for years, never being fully able to adapt to the online environment. And the Best Buys in my area, in my city, many of them have closed, or many of them have completely changed. You pretty much go there if you're looking for like appliances and things of that nature. And they for some reason now sell a lot of toys. You don't go there to buy, music or any type of physical media, whether that's music, movies, things of that nature. It's just not what it used to be. And when it was trying to keep up their price, the prices were just so things were just so overpriced. When Amazon was really starting to take shape, you could go buy the same movie on Amazon anywhere sometimes between $10 to $15 cheaper. And if you got Prime, you're getting free shipping. And I happen to live somewhere where there's massive hubs for Amazon here, so there are sometimes a vast majority of things I can get delivered same day. Especially if I order something in the morning, I can get delivered within 4 to 5 hours. Sometimes, no more than maybe 6 or 7. So, unfortunately, I don't see this mall lasting, especially knowing Walmart purchased it. I could see them putting up one of their Sam's Clubs, depending upon if they have those in that part of the country. Otherwise, I can just see them putting up a massive Walmart location, one of those super mega Walmarts, and then the rest of the shopping mall, filling it with other things, right? So, while I think it's sad to see it go, I think it's just a matter of time before it goes. While I agree I don't want to see it go, again, it's just a matter of time. So, anyways, that's going to do it for this horror news update. It's just a follow-up to the story that we originally covered back on, like I said, early February. I think it was 4th or 5th when the mall was sold. And here we are now. We have one of the main actors from the film coming out wanting to, vocalize that he would like to see it stay around. Obviously, it doesn't meet the requirements for a historical site. So I think, again, it's just a matter of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we're reporting on this in a few months that the mall is being going to be officially closed and then probably torn down either later this year or early next. So drop a comment in the comments section. Let us know what you think. Should it be deemed a historical site? Does the fact that it's in an iconic movie site, using an iconic movie, should it save it? Should it not? Drop a comment in the comments section. Let us know. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.